I'd like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mixed up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to another episode of the Safe Word podcast. New location, still in Austin, Texas, living my best life before the apocalypse unfolds. It's unfolding, more or less, and we're all kind of trying to pick a place where to die. And no better person to talk about death and the front lines than my guest today, Maxx, and last name.
It's just Maxington for right now.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
I didn't want to blow up your spot.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's Maxx Maxington. That's thanks to Kristen Evans.
What's your birth certificate say?
We're gonna have to keep it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. What if we'll go Black Ops?
Well, it's not so much Black Ops. It's like, you know how everybody has an issue about, like, hey, if I'm in comedy, and what if my family hears about it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm from a really small country.
Religious.
There's only 20,000 people of my people in the world.
Yeah.
And there were some stories that if I told, the people are alive right now, and there's only 20,000 people in that country, and they will exactly know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
and
for sure.
So it's one of those. We're from. It's an Asian country, so everything is like reputation, people's reputations, and word of mouth is everything. You know,
It's that country's literally a small town in Canada.
It's just pretty much.
Yeah, everybody's in everyone else's business. Do you get which celebrities have come out of that?
Right now, actually, there's one, not a celebrity, but a professional athlete, Bly Madras. He plays for the Astros right now.
And the Astros is a
baseball team here.
A baseball team.
Houston
Okay.
Astros, the Houston Astros.
okay. It's a Texas-based
Major League Baseball team.
baseball team. Is that your jam? Is American baseball,
No.
football?
No, I like
What's the national sport of the motherland? Because I bet you can't guess what Canada's national sport is.
hockey.
Nope.
Nope. But it's not.
I'll give you another guess. That was a dumb American
Okay.
answer.
What about what's the thing where they have the thing on the ice curdling?
No, but getting closer. It's almost a mix of those two things.
So it's not ice hockey.
I don't even know if you know if this exists, but have you heard of lacrosse?
Oh yeah, where they run across the damn country throwing a ball at each other with a little mitt.
Yeah, a tennis racket basket.
Yeah.
But the ball that is, it's a little lighter than a pool ball and a little softer. It's hard.
I heard they used to play that, like the natives would play that running across like ridiculous distances.
Fuck, you might know something I don't know because
Like where it came from. Like
maybe because like I've seen some Arab countries where they have a sheep's head and they do it on a horse or something. No, and they have to get the sheep's head.
You have the sheep's head through.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me because I come from. We didn't have horses. I mean,
Well, first of all, tell people where you're from because it ain't Atlanta.
Oh no, it's not.
It's not Atlanta.
No, I am not black. Let's get that out of the question.
Thank you.
You
saw the sign on the door. I've done a whole DNA test on you. You're square.
I am Asian, 100%, and I'm from a small island called the Republic of Palau, and that's in the South Pacific. It's a Micronesian island.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me, like Micronesian. That just means small islands, Nesian. And I thought about it, Polynesian, many islands. I was like, holy shit, these people just got lazy. They went North America, they named countries, and they came down.
Look, India and Canadian indigenous,
right?
Like, yeah, I remember Russell Peters explaining it to me. about like the whole Indian
That's right.
thing.
He's from Canada.
He's from Canada, but he also knows Indians, and then he also knows indigenous. Feather or dot? He always asks, "Is it feather or dot?" And white people, they thought they were in India. That's why they called them Indians.
Oh, here, like when they came to the North American side of the...
To Canada.
I think that's the same thing that happened in America.
Yeah, look, and the Queen sent some people over, right? And they said, just start naming stuff so that we can put a flag down.
Dude, they sent some to our island. Like in the 1600s.
What's the population of the island currently? Is it over a million?
No. The island is 20,000 in the world, Jason.
Oh, shit.
That's...
You're like gingers.
Like, worse.
It's worse?
Like, put it this way. You know how...
Would you rather be, Polynesian?
Micronesian.
Micronesian or a redhead?
Oh, Micronesian, hands down.
Right? No one picks ginger.
Dude, it's like... It's like, hey, you know the thing that keeps this whole world alive? We're going to make you allergic to it. The sun.
Oh, yeah.
For gingers.
They
Like, what
light up.
the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of abusive and a dirty trick.
Yeah. For a divine entity to go like, I'm going to make everybody adapt to their environment. If you're darker, you live here. If you live in a cold environment, you're going to be lighter. And all of a sudden, this group of people come that were like in between, like, you know what? You're just going to be allergic to the fucking environment.
Do you think, like, what was in the genetic gene pool? Because, look, a redhead is very distinct.
Yeah, it makes you stick out.
And you either are a very attractive person or Rocky Dennis.
Away.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away.
Yeah, it's wild. It is a gift and a curse. There's nothing hotter than a good-looking redhead. Or a Filipino boy. It's kind of apples and oranges. It's the last to be picked.
Okay, all right. Holtzman's not here. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this between us.
He's been going off. Brian Holtzman has been going off.
I don't know if I can say, but when he just stands there and he does this all the time, I want to see what comes out.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and the crowd is dying.
Yeah.
I don't like. That's ridiculous.
You can feel people's hearts breaking during the show. Brian Holtzman also performing on my show at the Sunset Strip for Midnight Madness.
Oh, sweet.
At the 27th. Is it Saturday? Friday the 27th. It's Ty Rivera.
Of this month?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
It's my Halloween show.
That's right. That's right.
Yoshi, Holtzman, Ty Rivera, and Jake and Louie's coming. Do you know Jake and Louie?
No.
My puppet friend?
No, I haven't met Jake and
He's a black Orthodox Jew with a racist white puppet. It is wild. Wait till you see this. It is my... He had a bad show with me in Niagara Falls, which he thought he had a bad show. And I said, he came off stage and apologized. I go, listen, you cannot get fired on my shows. Whatever you do up there, that's your business. And the more booing, the better for us in the back.
It's always a group of like really good comics that are always in the back cackling it.
Yeah.
And like a guy that's starting, that just eating all the dicks on stage, which is
or some
still
people
doing it right now.
When you see a great comic and where the audience isn't getting it, and now he's taking it out on them. It's great. Watching Holtzman at 1 a.m. at the Comedy Store in front of a bunch of people who came in on a tour bus to meet Jerry Seinfeld, and then Holtzman's up there screaming at them. And there's no safe place in there. No. Everyone's in cahoots with comedy. Yep. So I don't know. You did go to the store last year, didn't you? I think
no.
I
stopped by. I did not go into the store.
No.
Okay. I was busy doing something else.
Yeah. So let's get into it now. I do have a show at the Sunset Strip. You can go to jasonrouse.com and check that out. But we are. I met you literally probably within the first couple of weeks. Maybe was it in front of the Green J?
I think it was the Green J, and then Antone's is when I actually we had a conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
And I asked you like, hey, which mics do you do? And he just kind of looked at me funny and went, I don't do mics.
No, well, I can't because
I didn't know that at the time.
I can't do.
Like, I didn't know who the fuck I was talking to. You were standing in line. I'm like, I thought you were another guy that just moved to Austin over there.
But
Then
I
looked
still
up
have
and-
I still have the same blank piece of paper as everyone else coming to the table. So it's not like I've got some experience that but
Because I want a couple.
the homies came out to my show and the gang squad showed up and kicked my boys out. Like 15 cops show up. I come upstairs from having a smoke, and we're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back.
Yep.
I'd do a little battery change there. So what I really want to talk to you about is how Jesus has changed my life, and
Yeah, I mean, those
I'm running
abs are crazy. What's his diet plan?
cross training.
CrossFit.
Halloween's coming. What do you got planned?
You got a show, but also I heard something about riding bicycles from Waco
That's on the 30th.
on the 30th.
Halloween's on the 31st.
Oh, it's just the day after.
Yeah, are you down for that?
Down.
Are you down?
When we leave here, I'm gonna go find a BMX, and I want to buy one, and I got about 250 if any bicycle people are watching.
It's
Cash.
gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's a little longer than I've rode the last time, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's gonna be fine. As long as the wind doesn't pick up, we should be fine.
I just realized that I wasn't the only crazy motherfucker out here doing stuff like that. Like, I skate the time I met you in front of Anton's for Kill Tony.
Yeah.
I skated there, Jason. That was 60 miles.
Yeah.
And I made it over there, didn't get fucking picked.
It's fun though.
Yeah, and then that next time,
You know where the little curves are, and you can find a
I learned
bank or something.
that 60 miles an hour is pretty fast.
Yeah.
When you're on the side of the road, and it passes you, and the wind blows you and your skateboard all the way to, and you're like, oh, you know what? There's access roads.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stay off the highway.
Yeah.
That was my first lesson.
Unless you're trying to hitch a ride. But did you get going up to a speed where your wheels start smoking? There's nothing worse than seeing, and you see this all the time on the internet.
fucking
Guys
slam.
bombing hills and then to get hit by a car at the bottom.
That the one is when you the one that gets me every time is I would always not know my limits. Oh, it's a bar. It's got wheels. I can go here. Yeah, you're also 40.
Ever broken wrists?
I broke my leg the first month of skateboarding.
Okay.
Complete-
Below the knee?
Yes, right at the ankle, complete break. I
yeah.
actually have. And the crazy part is I went back and the first search that I had on Google the same night that I broke my leg was, how do I get back on the skateboard after a broken leg?
No shit.
Yeah. And then I realized, oh, I'm a skater. Because there was nothing that said, you're not going to do this again.
Yeah.
I splinted my leg with a skateboard, called my homie, and then he drove me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they put my leg in place. I asked for no pain pills. And the guy goes like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I want to know and I want to remember what it feels like to make a mistake. So I don't do this again. So now every time I skate and it's dark, I'm like, oh,
I wish I would have learned that lesson.
You know what? It only takes one for me because I did the math. And at 40-something years old and you only got 30-something years left and the healing is about 3 to 6 months, I'm cutting time. You know what I mean? I'm cutting my time down so much.
I was 19, around that, I guess 18, 19. I have 2 plates and 8 screws in here. I fell, so they cut me from here to here, peeled it all back. The bone was sticking out of the back like that. So I hyperextended multiple compound fracture.
I don't trust humans enough for
I was skating with my cast on, fell. I went in for my follow-up x-ray and my doctor goes, what the fuck is this? And he goes, you see that white line right there? He goes, the fracture, we have to go back in and reset this. So they had to cut me open again, go in, reattach it, and then spent like cast to here. But yeah, that was, I shouldn't have been skating in my cast. Yeah. Fucked it right up. But it's fine. Now when I swing, I've got enough steel in here that I don't even really have to swing that part.
Nightmare at the airport. Take all your jewelry off.
The thing does do the wee on the elbow.
Walks in. Whoop.
Yeah, you feel this. Like, put your finger right there. You can
Oh,
feel the
dude,
steel.
that's fucking gross. Shit.
It's
Is there a
wild, right?
Screw in there.
Yeah. Listen
What
to
the-
this. This you can hear want to hear the. This is the metal rubbing across the tendons. Ready?
Ah, that's. They got. That's that's gross.
Yeah.
That's grosser than this.
I fell where there was lime dust, and the doctors had to have my mother sign a form saying they might have to remove the arm completely
Yeah,
because
it's
gangrene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. I still ride BMX, and skating is just it's more of a commitment.
It's a lot.
You're constantly.
Oh, I've learned that's
You know.
the shoe selection became real important.
Yeah.
Those guys were like, "Hey, how old are you?" Like it's like, yeah, this one.
And they've got a lot of
So much.
knee and elbow support stuff. You can get insoles that are specifically set up for because those heels, man.
Yeah. Half cabs all the way for me. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I went through.
Oh,
was
yeah?
from half cabs. All
Yeah.
The way. Like they don't pay me. Of course not. They don't. The Vans
Look,
doesn't give me
first
shit.
of all,
but
that
they work.
shoe's been around since '88. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
classic.
same.
Is it a half cab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same half cab. ever since.
That shoe is as far as skateboard shoes, those cabs
Cabs
probably
and
been
Chucks
around more.
and Chucks, which is crazy.
I don't like skating in Chuck. I don't even like walking in Chucks.
How like it just hurts.
Yeah, every time you
How?
ollie, your toe is just separated through canvas and sandpaper.
It's fucking
We put
so
shoe
crazy.
glue over the side of our
I've
Chucks.
seen. It's like levels of everything. It's like remember when you watched the first UFCs?
Mm.
You're like, what the fuck? But now that champion couldn't compete right now.
No, different animals.
I saw these little young ass kids at the skate park
yeah,
with. I thought their boards were broken because the trucks were just wobbling.
yeah,
Like, is that broken? It's like, no. And then he just ollies the flat from
Yeah.
like, what's going
yeah.
on?
Gymnast.
Like, how are you? It's like, oh,
No,
no,
it's wild. All the shit we saw in
Crazy.
video games 20 years ago,
Yeah,
kids
it's
are
done in
doing
real
now.
life.
Yeah,
Like when Tony Hawk and
the precision.
and Ellis are like, yo, these kids are crazy. Like, you're like, what? Like, the two guys I watched growing up are saying these kids now are crazy. Like, get the fuck out.
Well, the parents also know that if I've got a prodigy, is also going to compete in the X Games in the Olympics. There's a lot of money in it.
any of them.
It's not just baseball, football anymore. You
Yeah,
can
it's anything now,
look at Ryan Sheckler.
dude. And now he's just chilling and then just still.
Yeah, he
so
came on MTV, snapped him up immediately. He was a good-looking young kid.
Yep.
Prodigy.
He skate really.
Oh
really
yeah, yeah.
good.
There's no denying that. You wouldn't have made it as far as he had if he didn't have any proper game. But
It's crazy to watch. Even here at House Park, a lot of amazing skaters.
Yeah.
BMXs. Those. That's what I was like.
Austin's a big BMX town.
I couldn't. Like they go so high.
Mm.
Like X Games, they don't do it justice.
Oh, people have no
Dude,
idea
dude.
that guy's 40 feet in
Like
the air.
when you just go down the street to Shoal Creek and watch a kid just get on the bike and pop, and you're going, what is he even looking at? He's
Yeah.
done flip 3 times, came back down, went over there, ground.
Landed backwards.
Right, like the pedals don't go backwards. Why is he pedaling? I can't. That thing doesn't compute in my head watching him.
So October
crazy.
30th, we're gonna ride bicycles from Waco, Texas, to Austin.
I'm fucking down, bro.
I think it's like a 16-hour bicycle ride.
Right.
But we get out there at like
It'll take
5:30 in the morning.
And do we need a follow vehicle? I can organize that if you need one.
I would, you know what, a follow vehicle would be great, but fuck it, just have
let's
somebody
be
on
real.
standby.
Okay, I'll have somebody on.
Yeah,
standby.
go look. Outside of flat tires and
Medical.
yeah, medical stuff,
I can cover that. Yeah,
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine, and hopefully the weather. It'll be cold in the morning, but we'll,
Oh yeah, that's not
break
gonna be
down.
the fucking problem, man. Once we start riding,
It's gonna be great. We're gonna ride from Waco, Texas, to Austin.
you're riding a
on Devil's
BMX too,
Night.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't want to.
I've never not ridden a BMX.
Cool,
I
okay.
would never get a road bike or any of
I had
that
an
stuff.
MTV road bikes. That's not no.
No. I'm married to the BMX.
I think I might be stuck to that and the skateboard, bro. Like I can't do shit else. It's just too fun.
Yeah.
It's literally transportation. They can go like, yeah, let me off road right now, and you can do it and not have to.
Oh, I
worry
like the
about-
idea of bunny hopping onto a curb to get out of getting run down by
Yeah,
a truck. A
it's-
lot of guys can't maneuver their bikes out of danger.
That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm trying to do with a skateboard.
If the road's a dangerous place, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm up on the
Yeah,
across
like-
in the grass, where the other guy who's never even lifted his front wheel up to get over a curb
So
is going to
crazy.
get mowed down by somebody on their phone. But on that note, where can people find you at the creek?
Creek and Cave. If I'm in Austin, I'm usually at the creek at the patio. Come by, smoke one with me, guaranteed. You know.
Yeah.
If I'm not at the creek, find me at Pothead Chimp on all platforms.
Uh-huh.
I'm usually active on Instagram. Come check it out, man. Hit me up. And Carnival of Combat, November 4th, Florida.
Nice.
CarnivalofCombat.com. Check it out. Luis Gomez versus Tim Butterly. One love.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And there will be a Canada tour starting in April, and then Scandinavia European tour in June, and then a July Canada Day show here, and then back to Canada September, October. But yeah, I'm doing a bunch of music festivals in Scandinavia. So thanks for watching. I've been Jason Rouse. Max, thanks for being on the show,
Love
homie.
y'all. Peace. Thank you, sir.
Let's smoke some meth.
I'll go for the weed, but he can smoke the meth and I'll watch him. I'll just watch.
It's so bad. I don't
That's
know
so
why
much.
anybody would get addicted to meth.
Right?
Anyway, you kids have a
Yes,
great
yes.
Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Thanks.
Dude, that was fire. Now, this is the part that scares me. Holy shit. That shit is.
Getting canceled?
No, that shit is.
At the same time, I still have to go through the same growing pains and process as anybody else trying to gain traction in content.
It's crazy to watch. Like for me, it was humbling. Like, and everybody goes like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's we're telling dick jokes, Max. It's not that serious. I'm like, don't understand when I see.
Are you telling me that I'm a breath of fresh air?
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. The Devil's Jester showed up and we're like, "Yo, bro, I know it's kind of that serious, but it's at the same time, it's not."
Yeah, I could see that you guys have been all hanging out with each other
It was-
for similar goals, and then I show up and they're like, "Oh shit, this guy from Canada."
Yeah, or what the first time like I was standing at an open mic and I saw a bunch of people see Casey Rocket perform. Like I literally saw people throw notebooks and go like, I didn't know you can do that. Like what
Yeah.
the hell's going on? And the crowd is dying.
Well, those are the people who've never done any research in their craft, because if they've seen Robin Williams,
Oh yeah,
Amazing Jonathan,
like Amazing Jonathan is apparently he's friends with this guy Chris Angel from Vegas.
oh yeah,
And they have this joke where all the time they look for how many times they can flip each other the bird, or Jonathan would do that.
dude, I stayed at his house.
What the fuck?
Yeah, his wife is Canadian. Rest in peace, Amazing Jonathan. Oh fuck, I'm getting emotional now.
Dude.
Anyway, he's I don't want to get into it, but one of the best people I've met in this business. You know, and I was at his wedding.
What the
Yeah, I was at his wedding. I spent I spent 4th of July at his house with it was funny because there was I think we were there, and everyone asked because Copperfield was supposed to pop by, and
David Copperfield.
yeah,
Vegas.
yeah, because every week Copperfield, Carrot Top, and Jonathan would have lunch every Monday, and
pretty tight.
for decades, and excuse me, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going through all the whole thing. I smoked crystal meth with Amazing Jonathan on my birthday.
What?
Yeah.
For what reason, Jason?
Because it was Amazing Jonathan.
Oh, he's the one. He's the one that invited you, or did you bring? Because I'm assuming.
No, because I lived across the street from the Magic Castle in L.A. And they, him and his wife, when they would come to town, they would at the Hollywood Hotel next
but crystal meth, like what the fuck?
Oh, it's fine. It was never a drug. I experimented with that in the 90s. And when I say it, I'd smoked meth out of a dirty light bulb in a warehouse with a bunch of punk rock skateboard kids and stuff. Gee. And it was never anything. Plus, I saw the aftermath of it. Heroin and meth and things like that were still very popular on any port town in Canada. You clearly know Vancouver's the heroin capital of North America. So I'd seen, I had goals and things that I wanted to achieve, and I knew anybody and if you need any reminder, look, just Google meth faces and how it destroys your body. And I had enough mental health and heart disease in my family, very prominent. So I didn't want to either have a heart attack or lose my shit from redlining it from that kind of stuff. But when you're with Keith Richards and he says, do you want to have a hit of this China White? I'm doing China White with Keith Richards. I'm doing heroin.
I think that's where we differ. You know, I'll be the guy going like, all right, do it. I'll drive you home.
And that's why we like having you around. That's to keep us alive.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
That's your spot. You don't have any angst. You're not. Well, these guys. Fuck these guys. They're junkies.
No.
You're gonna go. No. Fuck. These guys will die without me. I'll sit here with 6 hours.
It's not so much that they would die without me. It's like.
It wasn't planned.
I enjoyed.
I asked him because I'd seen his rig set up. Look, I was on my way to the store to go celebrate New Year's.
So you just took
birthday.
a chance that this rig was for crystal meth.
Oh no! I knew exactly what it was, and I knew whatever he'd had was going to be. I'm not going to find better shit.
Well, it is kids.
So I smoked it,
man.
I smoked it and I stayed there.
That's not processing in my head. I don't know if you understand right now. Like you saying you were smoked with Keith Richards, right? Like I play blues.
Yeah,
you know, Beast of Burden.
But you wouldn't do heroin with Keith Richards?
No, I wouldn't do it. Like, I don't care, dude. I want to be able to know. I sobered up to do comedy.
Okay,
Jason.
Were you a drinker?
I drank.
The
whole time.
Do you think it's in the blood? Do you have an uncle or a distant relative?
Everybody,
yeah.
But I don't believe that. I don't like the whole in the blood thing or whatever. I think.
Oh, I've definitely inherited for sure.
Dude, my sister runs, right? And it's me, my sister, and my dad are the only ones that kind of look different. We look the way we do at the age we are.
Yeah.
She has a shirt that says, you know, it's not that diabetes and heart disease runs in your family, is because no one runs in your family. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the shirt. And I've thought about it, and I'm like, oh, wait, everybody that says they have whatever running in their family, it's not running there. You just grew up getting conditioned to watching it and then repeating it. It's not inherently like your genetics.
I definitely agree with you saying
because you chose
monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because you left that part.
Oh yeah, I've been.
You left that part. You left that part of your life. You left that entire part of your life that's crazy, no aim. Now you're doing this stuff because you want to do it, not because I got nothing else to do.
I have to do it. I have to do all this.
Right.
Crazy shit. I got puppets in my house. It's getting out of control. But have you been back to the motherland?
Last time was about 2010. Wait. Yep. Yeah.
What's the stopover from here?
You can go. If you leave out of Texas, you could do about 27 hours.
No, but because it's not a direct flight.
No, you can go the Asia way, where you can go like Hawaii, like Japan, and then go through all those islands, or you can just literally go from Dallas, Hawaii, and then Hawaii, Guam, Plau.
I'd love to go to Hawaii. The inflation there, it's like living in Vancouver. It's expensive.
Well, I mean, no.
No?
It's expensive if you're trying to live there and then like
Okay.
have a regular job and like this is a weird fucking thing for me to say because I was in the corporate world and worked for 20 years. That's not a problem to people like us who have no jobs, Jason. If you live in Hawaii, 'cause you're not worried about getting the meal and like the best meal, whatever. You're just worried about eating and going doing sets and just experiencing life.
It's called not having a wife and kids.
This
We
is
wouldn't
true.
have these luxuries of like,
Yeah, I mean when you
if
have
the wind blows this way, I'll be in my plane.
True. This is true. I mean, when it comes to wife and kids, like, and this is where I get real. All of us are, where I'm from, are more, I guess, traditional. Yeah, when you do have a wife and kids,
What's
you're-
the dominant religion?
Roman Catholic, actually. believe it
Okay.
or not. They take. When people have to survive, and when people kind of.
Yeah, some countries that have some attractive women, their Christian values. There's not a lot of sluts in certain countries where you would assume they were because of the shame of the.
And also, like the cool thing is where I'm from is it's called a matrilineal society. I don't know if
Matrilineal.
yeah.
Okay.
It's run by women.
Oh shit.
So like the
At least
chief,
it's clean.
the chief is a man, or like I mean, but that man is picked by a council of women
Is that been part of the culture since go?
ever since
Interesting.
before the Egyptians.
Do all the men have like a nervous twitch in their eye because their wives' periods have all lined up and now
No, that's crazy.
That's how they formed an army.
Yeah, it's pretty much like they the women are with society, so to speak. They're with people, they're with the kids, or they know what society needs, right?
Are they physically more bigger traditionally? Like I mean, like
heftier.
not even thickness, but I mean just like a few inches taller than the average.
Nah, we were really small. Well, we
Like
were.
I think the Swedish women run Sweden.
Yeah, they're huge too. They're tall as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think our people, the diet after foreigners came, like literally, because great grandparents were fairly tall, and now I'm a fully grown one. Like after my dad and myself, we're all like 5. Nobody's over 6 feet unless they're married to somebody else from another country.
You think that's from canned food and processed American?
It's from processed
Yeah.
food, and like and a lot of people think I'm crazy for it, but I watched my grandfather outwork all his sons until he moved to the city where he ate to eat from refrigerator instead of going fishing every day that he did. That I remember him as a kid growing up watching.
Yeah. I put a frozen pizza in the oven yesterday, and I remember looking at it going, fuck. How much of this is nutrients? Like, how much of this
And how much is just filler?
in plastic and
It's like
old tires?
it's like a European spliff.
That's what I smoke.
There's this much weed in it.
It's
in
usually
it's a cigarette with
30, yeah.
it's a cigarette with damn weed in it. And
It's expensive. That's how they cut it. They cut it.
Yeah,
But you smoke blunts, so
I
your
smoke
tobacco's
blunts.
on the
On
outside.
the outside. That's what I don't get. It's like people make that distinction, but that's a product right there for you. Roll a blunt, blend it, and then roll it in and it's called like a reverse blunt. That's a spliff.
There'd have to be something. There'd have to be chunks of hash through it,
Oh Lord.
right through the center.
I think I got about half a gram of hash in here.
Fuck, it's very difficult to find.
I
Yeah, you
it
know.
might be good.
Are we recording?
Okay.
Yeah, you smoke. You're a smoker.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was 4 years old, I got high for the first time, and life ain't been the same.
Now, where were you when you did this?
I was here in Texas. I had just been to
You were high at a 4-year-old?
40 years old. 40.
Oh, 40 years old.
At 40 years old, I got high for the first time.
For the first time?
Yes.
Well, again, I was a late bloomer by purpose because alcohol was such a problem in...
And that's the thing. I think the alcohol is what kept me from smoking.
Oh, for sure.
It's
I
'cause of-
experimented with marijuana in my early 20s, but the paranoia that came with that at that time,
You weren't ready for.
No, it was because the city I was in, it was a war zone. So why would you be high when it's a predatorial ambush
You
at every turn?
you get more perceptive if you are high,
Yeah, but
and then your heart rate goes.
I was
down,
already
so-
stressed out from just existing in that place that I didn't know what was going on. Now I can measure things. I have perspective, and I can look behind me. There's been what day are we? We're in October, November. I'm going to be. What are you? 54?
No, I'm 45 right now.
No, I'm kidding. You're 45. I'm going to be 52 on New Year's, and I feel like I'm 27.
Still no driver's license, Jason.
No driver's license.
how have
There's
you
still.
done
It was never on the list. I made a conscious decision that the only way I was going to get to see the world is if I was walking on it. If I was waiting at bus stops and airplanes and stuff, I wanted to make sure that if I had to do something, that I wouldn't need anything other than myself to pursue it. And which is another way of saying I don't want to drive because I would totally run over people.
Man, so I don't drive now.
Yeah.
Right, and eventually getting a car. But the only reason I'm getting a car is because I have friends, so we can go goof off.
Well, your social circles too.
It's
out of
very
10 guys, you only need 2 with a car to do anything.
That's the
out of the comedian
yes,
thing.
yes, sir. That's what people don't understand is how efficient you become when you realize this is the only thing you're doing.
And you got a military background, so you can organize these soldiers. They're all. It's like stripes.
People wanna
You're
be led.
Bill Murray.
People want to be led whether they know it or not, and that's a really
Sometimes you're gonna go.
and it's crazy. That doesn't mean like being bossy. Like people just want direction. They want something to be clear because they're not. Most people are not clear about what they want to do. I wasn't, and I was in an organization that's designed to be organized for over 20 years. It's up until I got out and there was nobody planning my missions.
Yeah, I'm always planning missions.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm always planning missions.
And I was lucky enough to see you guys work, and I was like, "Oh, you don't have a manager?" And like, you looked at me weird, and you get back on the phone with somebody in Europe for the next trip.
Managers like an agents and all that. Most of those were abusive relationships on both parties, and I'm happy to be out of them. I've been representing myself for 15 years now. 15. You know, when I moved to LA. I had some meetings and stuff, but realized that I'm gonna do my own shit.
It's easier.
It is. It's a lot more work, and I enjoy the work. But this is such a long game for me. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
And the only time
you guys are all fucked.
That's what I realized. Everybody that I see that's good, they're trying to go on tour, and I realized what's holding them back. Was they spent a good amount of time working on their craft and they're really good comics, but they don't have the finances to back it up.
And not only that, some people are not very good outside of their element.
And then that's where they go like, I need an agent and I need a manager. What I've learned just watching everyone is if you build, dude, you know how to run a podcast. We got the Jimmy Clifford Show. All those guys are producers, and everybody's looking for somebody to do content. No, like all our homies are here and they all have the expertise.
Yeah.
And they're all in debt for getting that education to know how to do this stuff. But you want to go pay somebody else and let me see if AI can fix it. No.
I know.
Help your fucking homies.
Yeah.
Help your homies. Be a decent human being, and you didn't pay to come in the club, so at least pick up after yourself after doing an open mic.
Don't shit where you eat.
No. Hey, but I'm high. Don't listen to me. Fucking, that's so aggravating. It's like seeing somebody like at the house, living in a house in a nice neighborhood. They have a lawnmower, and he goes, "Man, I'm strapped for cash." And I go, "You have a lawnmower?"
Yeah.
And they look at me and go, "I don't understand."
See, we're both immigrants.
Yeah.
That's why.
Like, I'm looking at this dude that has a lawnmower and a tank of gas living in a neighborhood.
A white guy in his 20s.
You goddamn right. And the dude was over there going, I can't do this.
If you're in your 20s and you're white, you're the worst.
$33.33 a day. Times 30 days is $1,000.
Yeah.
If you mow one lawn a day for 30 days, that's $1,000.
But they don't
a
have
month.
enough personality to go knock
If you
on
make your
someone's door.
$40, Jason, it's $1,200, and you mow 2. That's $2,400. I don't know a comic that has an overhead of $2,400. So if you can mow some fucking lawns, you can do
Whatever the
mics
fuck.
for free.
Yeah. With no stress.
Yeah, no stress. And everyone goes like, "Oh, but I need a king size bed." Homie, when you fall asleep, you don't even know what size bed you're sleeping on.
Yeah. And if you're an active touring comic, you're not home anyway.
Yeah, you
You're
don't
in your
need.
half
This is nice,
a year.
man. I got a California king. Why are you bragging
Yeah,
about me
but you-
about some shit that
Again, you're talking to 20-year-old white people.
Fucking crazy.
They're the worst.
And it's not
Stop
just
doing that. Don't talk to anybody who's white in their 20s.
You know
They have nothing to offer you except anxiety and stress.
it's hard to talk about with people that are in their 20s and not white because all you talk about is the bad shit in life that you can fix.
Yeah, well, that's because they've been hanging out white people in their
It's just-
20s. It's
They owe me reparations. Homie, you weren't a slave. Why the hell are you asking these white people for this shit? And the same thing for the white guy that's only standing up for black people. Like, what are you doing? Like, they can stand up for themselves.
suspect.
That's the fuck.
Suspect.
Like the I'm waiting on the day nowadays. The way I see the scene, I'm waiting on the day all the gay guys come out and go, "Surprise! I've been fucking your girl this whole time."
Oh God, not that again. That's happened a bunch of times. Oh man.
Bro, I literally had a Uber driver tell me about how many trans fucking
He's got a problem.
that they're bringing to. It's just crazy. Like
Uber driver is not a great place to get your information.
It's crazy.
That's like taking financial advice from a homeless guy pissing into a garbage can.
This is true, right?
Yeah.
This is why I stopped giving
It's,
people.
again, it's all your environment and the people that you surround yourself with. You're going to be constantly banging your heads against the wall talking to 20-year-old white kids.
They should just leave the country.
The girls are authentically 20, but the guys I found are some of the most paralyzed from the neck up. They're as I say, paralyzed. I can barely articulate
I
myself.
mean, the prefrontal cortex is not fully formed until 23 or 25.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reasoning is not there until you're like 23, 25. Allegedly, according to the science, if you want to believe that shit.
I think you start to reflect on your mortality at a certain by your late 20s. You hear the word 30, and you're like, "Oh, that's old." Well, it's not, but you are closer to death.
Or you pick up your friend off the ground and he's dead.
Oh, you picked up? Have you found a guy on the floor dead?
Yeah. You know.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Was it Nick?
No,
Okay.
it was my son.
Oh, your son died.
Yeah, my son died. Yeah.
How old was your son?
He was 17.
17-year-old
Yes,
son.
sir.
And was he murdered?
No, he was not.
Okay. What was it? A heart-related thing?
No, it was
Suicide?
self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Yes. So I realized there's no more child support. I'm a road comic. That's $11.48.56. I ain't got to pay every month.
Yeah. Well, how long ago was that?
Right. It's why I started comedy.
So
2019.
2019. Yeah, that's. I think the compounded stress of COVID, the drug overdoses, the suicides, people really picked their lanes.
Oh yeah.
And you either became a doer or not.
Or you're not.
And a lot of people quit. And a lot of people got wet and got into the water. Yeah, it's time. It sucks that unfortunate events now you're doing it for two people. You know.
Well, it's just an event. That's my biggest lesson. And I hope enough people hear this is. It's just an event. Every event in your life, no matter how good. Somebody's kid died today.
Yeah.
Why doesn't that matter to us? Because it's just an event.
Yeah.
And it's a significant emotional event if you've created a relationship with a person that's gone or that's dead. But if you actually look logically at it, like, shit, I wasn't even that good of a father from my point of view. So at that point, it made sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
And I can either kill myself now or kill myself over the next X amount of years with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I went,
Which is almost cliche.
hey, it's literally
It's
literally
sad.
kind of giggled.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Unhealthy, bodied.
Yeah. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, it's like,
It's sad.
don't do that again.
Yeah.
Like,
In a bottle.
Go be a decent human being.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't overnight. This is 5 years later now. Like, we're talking now, me sitting here and having a conversation with you.
And look at what your life's been like over the last couple of years. We were just talking. Let's get into some more upbeat. There's so much crisis in the world, and
this is
we've
not
all
bullshit.
showed up here with a broken wing. And Skankfest, you went. I did the Houston one.
Yes, sir.
Fortunate enough, Gilbert Godfrey and Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, that was awesome.
And which was
Sweethearts.
fantastic. Oh, yeah.
It was weird, even though I knew.
Do you want to explain people what is Skankfest?
Skankfest.
I've
is,
experienced once.
Skankfest is this amazing.
Is it the best? It's the best.
It's the best. It's unexplainable. It's one of those you had to be there type events. And the crazy part is it's
like 9/11 in reverse.
It's so crazy because it was put on by, of course, Rebecca Trent, Christine Evans, and Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Okerson, Gas Digital, Creek in the Cave. And they come together and they do this thing where they bring all these comics together to entertain this year, about 3,000 people a day.
And what number is this?
And this was my third one, but
No,
the seventh.
Seventh,
It was
okay.
the seventh.
Yeah. I did 5? I did 5. Now, the years previous to that, it was all New York based.
Yep.
At the Creek, right? In New York.
I'm not very familiar with how I started in Houston, which is crazy because
all the best comics,
it's
all the real shit,
and it's the only place.
and there's fighting.
There's a bunch of different stuff. I mean, comics fighting, real fighters fighting, musicians fighting. Like what's going on?
Yeah,
and it's just pandemonium, and they basically created an area where fun can be facilitated.
Yeah.
They padded the walls and the floor.
Yeah.
And they say if you want to get drunk, as long as you don't need medical
It's
attention.
a bouncy castle full of clowns.
It's
with
so
drugs
crazy. But just because of the name and the group of people and the way they dress, like there's a lot of people that have this thing about it. But as soon as they get there, as soon as you get past the name and the image and you're sitting there.
Well, you're interacting with everybody.
and
Everyone's walking around.
When you meet a comic that tells you, I like how you did this set.
Yeah.
And I remember how you did it at this time, and this time you did this tag. Like, that's the level of fans that are there. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw, like, blind guys. And this is how dumb I was, how high I was. Walked up to homie, right? Shout out to Armando. He did a podcast with Gas. And I walked up like, yo, how do you consume your content?
Blind guy.
Yeah, the blind guy. He's just like, motherfucker, I can hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was cold. That was mean. I've never seen you act like that to disabled people.
it was so fuck. I didn't get it because it's such a visual thing, and you know everything is overwhelming.
Imagination.
Exactly. But he said,
everyone's jerked off with their eyes closed once or twice.
He said, I like listening to comedy because as soon as I listen, I can tell if people are good or not.
Yeah.
And so I start mentioning comics, and he would go hack or not.
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, it's
he knew
always
his shit.
this. He just knew it.
Yeah,
And
he's had a wire plugged into his head. He's been listening to stand-up comedy specials and podcasts for 4 or 5, 6 years.
And then I go, what about Jesselnick? And he goes, oh, when that motherfucker talks, I can see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's fucked up.
His diction and his
the one guy that can make you see shit is one of the darkest motherfuckers in a comedy, and that's the only comic. And he's like, yeah. And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I think blind people would probably get a lot more out of, because there's no eye contact.
Yep, bro.
So it's a different kind of
all the-
polarization.
It's tonality. It's words and tonality.
Say that word again. Tonality.
Tonality.
Does that mean intention?
No, the tone.
Oh, the tonality. Okay.
Yeah, so the dumb stuff that's stuck in my head from a previous profession. Human communication is approximately 93% body language and tonality.
So you got, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Or best one is like just be gay and call every girl a bitch.
They do that.
And everybody's like, yeah, thanks.
I got called a breeder by a drag queen once.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was funny.
How about thank you? Like, oh, dang.
When I couldn't get spots at the clubs, I went to gay
that
bars.
means I fuck. Oh, sorry.
Gay bars in my hometown because I knew I'd seen posters up around the city that they were doing cabaret style shows. And I'm like, well, if I'm too much for the mainstream, I'm sure a bunch of men in women's clothing will accept my mouth and my mouth, no pun intended. But I remember I was there. I brought my girlfriend at the time to the thing. I go, I'm doing this show, but I need you to come. Just I don't mind getting hit on by gay men, but when I'm trying to focus on the comedy and I'm trying to fend cocks away from my face, and I was holding her hand, and she goes, "Are you scared?" And I go, "I'm not scared." But that guy is 6'5", 240 pounds of woman. And he leans over and goes, breeders.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
But yeah, that's where I'd do shows and make money outside of the club scene. And I remember the manager of the club going, you know, this is a gay bar. And I go, I know, but the straight people won't fuck with me. So I'm here. And anyway.
You go where you're tolerated or welcome.
I've always seeked out opposites for me to be fine.
As in,
look, you know, I've been on the front page of the newspaper in South Africa, you know, from doing shit. I'll tell you a funny story. Fucking, you know, I'm in, where was I that time? Johannesburg or Cape Town? I think it was Cape Town. And I don't know if you've been to South Africa, but when you, at the stoplights, like they do here in America, somebody's selling like fruit or toys or something like that, but a majority of them have newspapers. And they sell, people buy a lot of their newspapers at the stoplight. Homie comes out, he's got the latest, give him a couple rand or whatever the price was, and they drive away. Well, when we pull up, and you also know that they have BMWs with flamethrowers across the bottom for carjacking.
Oh, for carjacking.
Yeah. And my friend's like, I got to go grab my gun because we got to go through here. And coming from Canada, it was a completely culture shock. But I was open-eyed and totally stoked. And we pull up to the light. Fucking African guy starts to point at the car. And he's waving the newspaper like I thought he was aggressively trying to sell it. And he's going nuts. And I'm like, he's yelling at us. What is he saying? And my buddy, he speak, what was it?
Afrikaan.
No, not Dutch. I want to say Zulu or something like that. But the guy says, your friend is in the newspaper. And he says, you're in the paper. And I'm like, what? And there's a picture of me in the newspaper naked? On the front page. Yeah, I'm sitting in a garbage can naked. But I didn't know the story was going to be on the front page of the newspaper. So that's something you can't have in Canada. Like, no. I never experienced that thing. I really liked it. I want to go back.
Speaking of what's with this internet censorship?
It's over, pal.
Well, like they're done.
I'm applying for citizenship, American citizenship
in the new year. Yeah, I'll vouch for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I might need a letter. But I'm good.
Know.
I got a green card. I've been square with the U.S. government for over 15 years.
Let me know.
I'm giving up.
You need, man. Just
I'm going to. I haven't had health care in Canada for over a decade. That lapsed. I can reapply for it, which I'll do.
Healthcare's a joke, though.
Who?
Healthcare's a joke.
Oh, it's fucked. They have signs at some of the hospitals that says, unless you're dying, we can't help you.
Which is literally what
Yeah.
you should really take
Yeah.
into heart. Don't fucking be in a position where you're dying.
Once I saw the censorship on the internet, and you should see what Facebook looks over there.
Oh, bro.
It's totally a different lane. It's brutal.
We'll get together, like, and we'll put on
Any podcast that makes over $1 million, I think it is, has to turn over their analytics to the government.
Yep.
All their stats and all of that bullshit.
clip that.
Wild.
Clip that.
Well, we can watch it here in America, but in Canada, it will be censored. I'm trying to get arrested in Canada. That's my whole goal in the spring of next year, is to get shot in the back by a Canadian Mountie.
The Mounties have guns.
Yeah. You'll see them.
There's the dudes in the red on the horse.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that really what they look like?
Yeah, dude. No. no, I don't want to. In my gut, I'm like, yeah, it's all like that. But no, there's it's the Royal Mounted Canadian Police, which is the Queen's thing.
No,
It's military.
Which queen are we talking?
England.
Wait, so as a separate country, Canada.
Yeah, we've already been around for about 150 years.
Wait, what?
Canada's only been a thing for like about 150 years.
And everybody's just cool with going like, yeah, we belong to the Queen.
Oh, she's on all her money. The royal family's on all the Canadian money.
Oh, that explains.
Yeah, we're like Australians. We're bastards of the Commonwealth.
Bro, Australians are a little bit rougher than that. It's like,
for
those
sure.
guys
Well, they're
are
because more British people go to Australia than they do to Canada. So they're getting to see the culture. Plus, they're on a fucking island. If anybody shows up, they're like, "Whatever you got, we want to hear about it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, we got AIDS. Oh, we've never had AIDS in Australia. This is gonna be a crazy year. Yeah. So yes, definitely the Queen of England. Was always a
bananas.
problem. But my grandparents.
I say that in a country, and I come from a country where they all use U.S. dollars, right?
But you must have a king in the motherland.
No, they have a couple of chiefs, and there's of course there's a.
Is it monarch?
I have to be very careful how I say this, right? But the government that we know of is a democracy, allegedly, and that was created just to integrate with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But
wild, right?
yeah,
it's a trick.
So like you watch it and you go like, oh, well, that's not how things work. I'm like, yeah, but if you want to play in this,
Yeah.
it's like anybody complaining about this system is just imagine you're a guy that showed up at a football game with a baseball bat and you're bitching why you ain't in the game. That is what everybody in America is really doing, because you don't even know you're in the game.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get in like we did.
Oh yeah, right.
We tried stuff in where I'm from.
Your umbilical cord, you are double fucked.
Oh, bro.
You're double fucked.
Understand the system, and the one thing that they teach people to be afraid of is like the tax law in America is the ground rules on how to operate in America.
It's weird though. There's enough to go around. It's like
there's no shortage.
In my lifetime, nothing has gotten better. Yet there seems to be anyway. I don't want to get into the pyramid scheme. Is that this fucking?
Oh, it is.
Fake. We're watching the world through shit covered VR glasses.
The crazy. It's still funny to me to see people that are pissed off and aggravated. It's something that they can turn the fuck off.
Yeah. Well, part of the identity is to be in socially upheaval all the time in constant angst because they haven't spent enough time working on themselves.
Just leave.
They adopt other people's causes and battles.
What Patrice say? I wish I never. I wish I had never left America so I can shit on America.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking hell of a quote.
That's why Bill Hicks did so well in England. Is he took all the stuff that Americans didn't want to hear.
Yeah. And
brought it to Europe, and they were like, "Yeah, we're with you."
Yeah. It's like growing up. That's why like politics really. Because growing up, I used to take my grandfather to this little place where everybody was eating, What I didn't realize until I was a grown man is everybody that was eating there was in government, like senators and all this stuff. And one of the first things that I heard was, you guys heard this thing about the American president and Monica Lewinsky? Without missing a beat, one of the old men just went, did the Americans just find out that their president's a man? And what does that have to do with the State of the Union?
Yeah.
And that was the end of that entire conversation.
Yeah.
America carried on for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy.
Tom Green hung out with Monica Lewinsky.
Right. And apparently she makes a lot of money on purses.
Oh, yeah.
She used to sell purses.
I thought you were going to say OnlyFans. Can you imagine a 40-year-old Monica Lewinsky with a cigar in her ass on all fours going subscribe?
Sells the entire internet out and breaks it.
This is a good time to have an internet connection and a pussy.
Bro. It's because it's crazy because a woman now realizes that she can do that and not need the protection of a man immediately because I can do it from the safety of behind walls.
And the fucked up part is firefighters, police officers, teachers.
All over it.
They're all crushing it. I'm going to make $170,000 this year. My teaching job pays me $60,000 a year. So I'm going to never, I'm going to retire before I'm 35.
But it doesn't matter. Here's the thing: what a lot of people are realizing is, it's really cool that a lot of the hip hop artists, they're coming out and they're throwing out like memes like crazy about OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and it's like all these chicks are about to find out what it's really like being an artist.